Hello and welcome to the webinar. Today, you'll be getting a first look at our newest addition to the Squiz DXP, the Content Data Platform, or CDP. I'm Leonie May, Senior Product Marketing Manager here at Squiz, and you'll be joining me over the next 45 minutes as we go through some of the basics of personalization, like why you should care, limitations to current personalization solutions, and how Squiz CDP takes a practical approach to personalization. I'm then going to hand over to Carrie Han, our product manager that's leading the charge. She will explain the 6 steps to achieve a personalized customer journey and how the CDP fits in, after which you'll get a demonstration of the CDP. So let's get started. First, some introductions. Joining me to answer your questions is Julie Brettel, Chief Product Officer, and Carrie Han, Product Manager here at Squiz. Now for the housekeeping. This webinar is being recorded and you will receive a copy via email within the next day. If you have any technical difficulties during the session, you can use the chat window by clicking the icon at the bottom of your screen, and please submit any questions into the Q&A window. The icon is also located at the bottom of your screen, and feel free to submit questions at any time. Julie and Carrie will both be answering questions at the end of the session. So Squiz CDP is part of the DXP personalization capability. So why should you care about personalization? Very few organizations do personalization well, but those that do increase conversion. So prospects turn into students if they get the most relevant information delivered fast. You can improve online services. So it makes information easier to find. A citizen looking for a council service, for example, finds it in seconds. And you can create an emotional connection. So building trust and loyalty with a positive experience keeps customers, students, citizens coming back for more. Let's look at some of the facts and figures. Personalization continues to drive digital marketing leaders' objectives. For 47% of digital marketing leaders responding to a recent Gartner digital marketing survey, delivering improved personalization is among the top customer data objectives. And this shows that personalization is still highly important to leaders. It's still a top priority. But despite the apparent enthusiasm, the same survey found that nearly 2/3, 63% of digital marketing leaders describe delivering personalized experiences to their customers as a moderate to significant challenge. These challenges included leveraging the customer data and insights and aligning messaging to the customer's channel preferences. This finding suggests that marketers still lack the tools needed to implement effective personalization. And according to Forbes, there are still resource constraints. They reported that 41% of marketers struggle with insufficient staffing and skills to execute personalization initiatives. And personalization is hard. Very few organizations do it well because personalizing a journey can seem too big to even get started. Some of the barriers include limited or locked data. You need to access the right customer data. If you lack sufficient data about your customers, such as preferences, behaviors, or purchase history, it's a huge challenge. Insufficient data collection mechanisms, data silos, privacy concerns can also hinder the availability and usability of customer data. There might be a lack of resources. Implementing personalization initiatives can require dedicated resources, including personnel, technology investments, ongoing maintenance, and large teams are required to set up and maintain. There might be limited budget, resource constraints. It might mean you are unable to invest in the necessary tools, technologies, or skills required. There might be inadequate tech infrastructure. So as you require robust technology to collect, analyze, and act upon your customer data in real time, if your existing tech stack is outdated, fragmented, lacks integration, it can really hinder your ability to implement the personalization. Or you might have poor data integration. So personalization often requires integrating and unifying data from various sources and systems. If you struggle with data integration due to incompatible systems, it can hinder your ability to get a unified view of your customers. Squiz CDP is a really practical and achievable approach to personalization. Other CDP solutions in the market are not created specifically for organizations with small teams in highly complex environments. So how is it different? It offers simple data collection and unification. You can easily unify your user data across systems, channels, and devices. Data can be captured from any source, Squiz or third party, and customer interactions are easily tracked across the web in real time using first-party cookies. And data is imported into the CDP from websites, apps, CRMs, or other online solutions. It's fast to get started and use. With Squiz, you are up and running in days, not weeks or months. Once you have access to the CDP from the DXP console, you can easily enable an event feed to track website behavior and segment your users into groups. And it can all be done by non-tech personnel. It plays well with other tech. So Squiz CDP integrates really well with your current CMS, CRM, LMS, or marketing automation tools. And your customer data can be unified and distributed to other platforms for that end-to-end omni-channel personalization. Third-party systems, think marketing automation tools, can be used to deliver that personalized experience. And data governance is made easy. You get a secure and controlled environment for managing citizen, student, or customer data, and it includes consent management, data governance, and it helps to maintain data privacy, security, and regulatory compliance. As you may know, Squiz DXP is made up of 9 core capabilities that you need to build brilliant experiences fast. You can come as you are with our DXP by bringing and integrating your current tech solutions. Everything works as one, and it allows you to embrace change with confidence, knowing that your experiences are always secure and you can make changes without anything breaking. And of course, Squiz CDP is part of the personalization capability. This capability allows you to collect, unify, and segment customer data to drive personalized experiences across all channels. So how does it work? The CDP collects data in a governed way. It ingests only the right data needed for personalization. So if you think site behavior, relationship data, and from different sources like websites, mobile apps, CRMs, or even IoT sensors. It then unifies that data to generate a 360-degree profile of each customer. Customer segments are created, and if the customer profile matches the logic in that segment and the customer consents, they then receive the personalized content, authenticated experiences, or even outreach via different channels. This breaks down your data silos and empowers your internal teams to create highly personalized and authenticated experiences. Now I'm going to pass over to our product manager, Carrie Han, who will show you the CDP in action.
Thanks, Leonie. For today's demonstration, I will show you how a university can use CDP to track anonymous user behaviors and enable personalized online experiences based on their preferences or interests. In this case, the anonymous user is an international student looking to study business in Australia. And the goal is to get them to hit that Enroll Now button, which will increase conversion. If you attended our step-by-step guide to web personalization webinar, these 6 steps might look familiar to you. If you didn't attend that previous webinar, you can watch the copy of the recording accessible on our website. And today, we are going to focus more on step 4 onwards, how our latest DXP's capability, Customer Data Platform CDP, can enable web personalization in a more practical and achievable way. So let's quickly cover step 1 and 2. Define user segment. We create a segment named International Business Prospective. Basically, a prospective international student who wants to study business in Australia. Step 2 here, the personalization goal for this segment is to increase conversion by having these users hit that Enroll Now button on the website. Step 3, map user journeys. For demo purpose, I will illustrate a user journey of an anonymous user who browsed through the university's website to find more information about business studies. Let's use the Squiz higher education site here as an example. Here is the user journey before applying any personalization. Visit 1, When a user lands on the website for the first time, the user accepts the cookie consent banner, which allows the CDP to track web activities and store user preferences. The user browses the study area and learns about business-related programs. The user completes the initial discovery on the website. Visit 2. Days later, on a social media platform, the user sees a post about upcoming virtual open day from the university for international students. The user clicks Learn More and is taken to the international students landing page of the website. Weeks later, after attending the virtual open day event, without the personalization, the user could go various pathways on the website, then eventually finds the Enroll Now button and decides to apply. Now let's use the CDP to just personalize the one step within the same user journey and see how the personalization helps to improve the conversion. In Visit 2, from the social media post, the user lands on the international student landing page. CDP recognized the user from the previous visit, and based on the captured website behaviors, this user has already been assigned with the international business prospective segment. The personalization is triggered in real time for the user. A pop-up banner displays to the user and leads the user to the enrollment page directly. Remember, the goal of personalization is to have the user, an anonymous web visitor, click the Enroll Now button. From step 4 onward is where we are going to set up and activate personalization on the DXP platform. So let's get into it. This is the DXP console, where you can find all of Squiz's capabilities in one platform. To access CDP, we are going to click on this card here, which then brings us to the CDP dashboard. As you can see here, we can see event data ingested from various places into the CDP, and the number of customer profiles developed and creating a single customer view. Let's check out the sources menu here. On this page, you can see all available data sources that CDP collects and unifies to create a single customer view, including both website behavior and data integrations from all your digital ecosystem. For this demonstration, we want to start tracking website behavior. So let's enable that option by clicking the switch from the source list. This option is enabled. CDP will start capturing web behavior across all your websites hosted within the Squiz DXP. Remember, we defined the user segment and the goal in step 1 and 2. We want to identify any prospective international business students and lead them to hit that Enroll button. Now it's time to capture interactions within the user journey using the event feeds functionality on CDP. The event feed can enable you to collect specific events based on user online behavior, like a page view or button click for a specific campaign. You can also create event feeds from system data integrations. For example, if CDP is connected to your CRM system, any change made in the CRM will be synced to the single customer view profile if the mapping is created here. We mapped out the user journey in step 3. Now it's a time to capture the user interactions in the journey, and their behavior data can be fed into the CDP and used to define the international business prospective segmentation rules. Let's start with the first event feed. We want to capture anonymous users who view a page that has a content tag value of business. Let's name it Business Interests. The event type that we want to track is page view. The attribute filters section below is where you put the rule. The interest tags on the page has tag business. Now let's proceed with setting up the second event feed. Our intention is to monitor the user's journey from the moment they encounter a social media post. Click on the link and eventually land on the international student landing page of the website. To narrow down the specific campaign, we have set a filter to match a URL query string that contains a campaign value of 2023 international event. And we also narrowed down the referral domain from Linktree. Now let's move on to the third event feed. We want to capture the page view request from an international location on this event feed. DXP can automatically track the user's city, continent, country, and region from the user's browser. We can apply a filter to exclude users from Australia using the attribute filter and matching the location country to does not equal AU. We have created 3 web behavior event feeds that will provide useful insights for segmenting anonymous users and inferring their interests and motivations to engage with the university's website. Next, from the navigation bar, we will go to segmentation. It's a segment builder within the CDP where we can establish adaptable business rules and determine metrics based on events and customer attributes. Our next step is creating a CDP segment with the criteria we've collected from those event feeds. Let's name this segment International Business Perspective. Here, we can use a combination of AND and OR logic in defining the rules. To be included in this segment, the site visitor must come from an international location, and they either click on the social media international campaign post or viewed business-related program content on the website at least twice. This segment can be used straight away in the content management system to personalize the site content. Let's switch from the console, where we can apply personalized content to this particular segment. In Squiz CMS, a segmentation asset is available to align with segment IDs from the CDP. By connecting a content asset to this segmentation, the DXP understands the user segment and delivers tailored content aligned with that segment. In this example, a pop-up message says "Interested in international programs," with the link leads the user straight to the enrollment page. Now we personalized one step in the user journey. We want to see how successful this content personalization contributes to the goal of improving conversion rate. Let's go back to CDP and create another event feed to track the Enroll Now button, which is the end step of the user journey that we defined at the beginning. Let's name this new event feed International Enroll button, and we want to choose Custom from the drop-down menu as the event type. And then, using the attribute filters section, we are going to set up the rule International button click equals true. Then from here, we will link this new event feed with the International Business Perspective segment within the segmentation list. Now comes the exciting part, observing the success of our personalized approach. The CDP provides analytics, allowing us to monitor the success metrics on a daily ongoing basis. To analyze the outcomes, we navigate to the single customer view within the CDP. By clicking on the Customers tab in the navigation bar and selecting International Business Perspective from the drop-down list, we gain immediate access to the impact of our personalization efforts. In this view, a chart showcases the collected event occurrences tied to the success metrics we established. It paints a clear picture of how our content personalization strategy is directly influencing our main goal, improving conversion rates. The chart provides an up-to-date snapshot of our success. And there you have it, a more efficient and impactful way to deliver content personalization and demonstrate the influence of web personalization on conversion rates using the CDP.
I have other CMS systems that are not part of Squiz DXP. Can I still use the CDP to integrate with my current CMS system?
Yeah. It's a short answer. So let me just elaborate a bit more of the differences here. So Squiz CDP is part of our digital experience platform, which does customer data consolidation and management, and also delivers personalization faster at scale for your digital applications. So in the demonstration, I showed a seamless way to configure your like event trackings, create segments, and apply personalizations in Squiz CMS without adding extra code development. So to answer your questions here, you can still using the Squiz personalization on a non-Squiz CMS to fully leverage the consolidated and the segmented view of the customer for a portal authenticated solutions or a website personalization, but with a small amount of integration work connecting with the CDP single customer view APIs. So, and of course, come as you are with the Squiz DXP, you can continue using your CRM, learning management system, marketing automations, and analytics platform. So you don't need to rip and replace your whole tech stack. Customer data can be distributed to another platforms very easily using the integrations platform on the DXP for an end-to-end omni-channel personalization. So I hope I address your questions here.
Yeah, thanks very much, Carrie. Just a quick one. How can I integrate CDP into my current tech stack?
I can answer that as well. So Squiz personalization, as I mentioned before, is part of the digital experience platform. So it works really well with what other capabilities already on the DXP. So you can bring your current tech stack and solutions without needing to re-platform. And also a great advantage on Squiz DXP is having Squiz's integration platform as a service. The personalization leverage the integration platform to effortlessly import data from various sources within a customer's ecosystem. So for current Matrix CMS customers, you must be on the latest Squiz content management system and behind the Cloudflare to gain access to Squiz personalization. This will enable you to fully utilize the content authoring process in Squiz content management and also apply personalization to the new page building and component building experiences.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks very much, Carrie. Just touching on the integration platform there as well. Carrie, I'm going to share the love. Can the CDP provide insights into customer life cycle stages?
So I'm guessing that one's me then?
Yes. Oh, sorry, Julie. Yes, please.
All good.
Right.
So what you'll want to do is look at those key events during your customer or your user life cycle. So like if you're a higher education, looking at something like potential student to enrolled student to engaged alumni, what are those key events that really feed into that life cycle? And that gets made a lot easier inside the Squiz DXP. So you can track key events that signify those changes in a stage and make sure that you can personalize content that helps them get, move into the stage if that's what you're looking for. You can also look at things like different stages of life of a citizen, for example, if you're a government organization. So, all the different stages that people go through life, and really the CDP makes it a lot easier for you to identify those and then personalize content based on them to really help with that retention, engagement, and even advocacy at each stage of that life cycle.
Thanks very much, Julie. I better keep getting through some of these questions. We've got quite a few coming through. It looks similar to third-party cookies and how they behave. How is the CDP different than the third-party cookies? Carrie, did you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure. So that's a great question. With growing concern about privacy and data protection, many web browsers and operation systems are moving away from supporting third-party cookies. So this could pose challenges for organizations rely solely on them. However, our CDP relies on first-party data, which isn't as impacted by changes in the browser policies. So it offers a more secure and privacy-friendly and effective way to collect and use customer data. especially in the future where third-party cookies might not be as reliable. So one significant factor is also the ownership of the customer data. With the CDP, organizations have the power to collect and own their customer data. This means they have direct control over how the data is used without depending on third-party companies to handle it. Another important aspect, this data is collected with the customer's consent, as I demonstrated from the website in a past demo, making it more privacy-friendly compared to third-party cookies, because most of those third-party cookies are often gathered without the user's knowledge or consent. So personalization is crucial for delivering tailored experiences. Our CDP gathered data from various sources like web interactions, preferences, and user behaviors. Using this data, organization can craft more personalized experiences for customer, and it improves trust, satisfaction, and loyalty when customers feel like the brand really know and catered to their preferences. Thank you.
Thanks, Carrie. Thanks for that explanation and clarification. Julie, if you'd like to answer this one, we've got a question about added costs involved with CDP. If so, how much?
Yeah, so it's the CDP is part of the Squiz digital experience platform. So if you're already on our latest subscription model, you will already be able to see it in your console. And there won't be any additional fees there because it will be part of your new subscription model. However, if you don't have access yet, so you're either an existing customer who is maybe on one of our older contracts, or you're not an existing customer of Squiz, please either contact your account manager or our sales team, and we can discuss the price and the consumption size that will suit your organization's needs. So make sure we match your use cases to what we charge.
Perfect. Thanks for that. Carrie, this one's for you. How does the content for personalization get tagged? So a question about tagging.
Yeah, sure. So the CMS already have a very sophisticated metadata system. So as an example, in the demonstration, how those business-related pages get picked up from the CDP and track how many times user actually view that. You can use your existing CMS systems to assign the metadata, and it will be automatically picked by those event tracking rules. And also, we are working on make the page building experiences more user-friendly by adding that capability in the new page building experience as well.
Yeah, fantastic. And we'll hear more about that in the next couple of months as well, the new page builder that's coming out. Question from Ben. The example showed personalization using marketing data. How would this work with known logged in user data? Maybe, Carrie, that's best for you to answer from your demo.
So yeah, the demo is showing an anonymous web personalization experience, but I did touch a bit about in the sources screen where the data integration is another strong integration capability from the Squiz CDP for a logging authenticated user experiences, because you not only can bring the marketing data in to enhance your anonymous user profile, and the data integration allow you to bring data from CRM, or as a higher education, you always have student information system, and then knowing who they are and what grade they are, and also have learning management system where you have the student grade. This all can be brought in through the CDP and to enrich the user profile. And the segmentation capabilities on CDP can also use those data integrated from your various systems to segment users. So maybe we can following up with more different examples and use cases on how to address the authenticated user experience for your portal solution.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks for that. There's a couple of questions that come through. I might just sort of combine them. Carrie, you might be able to answer these as one. There's a few questions about examples of connecting to Salesforce, connecting the CDP to Salesforce, as well as does the CDP play nicely with Marketo? I'm not sure if you want to tackle those together or if you'd like to to answer those separately, but a lot of questions about integrating with current solutions.
Yeah, sure. So I think as I mentioned before, the great advantages to have the Squiz DXP, which have the CDP as personalization capability, also have the integration platform as a services, iPaaS, as the integration capabilities to work on the same platform, give us a lot of advantages to access your ecosystems. So it is already designed to seamlessly integrate with a wide range of data sources, allow you to consolidate and unify customer data effectively. So Connect as the integration platform as a services provide most CRM connectors out of the box. So you can very easily to integrate with your CRM like Salesforce, Microsoft Dynamics, Sugar CRM, any sorts of the CRM. I think that has been mentioned in the Q&A for like MS Dynamics 365 and also Google Analytics. Yes, because integrations actually allowed you to connect anything, the cloud application which has an APIs. So short answer is yes. But also I want to share in here, there's a lot of sources we already considered while we're building the sources capability within the CDP, where you can have website interactions and the behavior data get collected, including those page views, clicks, return visits, or even integrate with an ad platform, which you can track whether this is a first-time user or the second time already see the ads through those user journeys to determine what's the next targeted personalization strategies for those users. And the CRM I've already covered, and other useful distribution channels or integrated is email campaigns, for example, surveys and forms. You can pull those data into enrich your customer profiles, and marketing automation like Marketo, and then social media platform, for example, to extract insights from social media to track the user engagement. It's also a very good insight to feed into the CDP.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned forms there, because that's something you'd also like to stay tuned for very much on the Squiz roadmap. So you'll be hearing more about that in the next couple of months also. Julie, what are the benefits of using Squiz CDP over third-party niche solutions like Atelium, for example?
Yeah, so there are a lot of third-party kind of niche CDPs out there. Atelium is one of them. What we've tried to do differently, in the way we're really differentiating ourselves by them, is we're focused a lot around the data consolidation. So we know from talking to our customers that there are a lot of different systems where you store data about your users and none of them talk to each other. So we really wanted to make that data consolidation for anonymous or authenticated personalization a lot easier to do. So we're really focused on making that easy and using the power of our existing integration platform to make those as really easy and simple as possible. We know the integration side of building out any kind of website can be 50 to almost 80% of the time spent on the build. So we focused on making that really, really quick so you can build really fast. The other thing that we're really focusing on that are not a lot of other CDPs out there focus on is around the validation of personalization for services-based organizations. So if you're not an e-commerce site, you're not selling something, and you can't just sort of throw a recommendations sort of related content thing up there and then increase your sales by 20%. And now I've done a great job with my personalization strategy. If you're a services-based organization that is more around helping people, how do you validate that personalization strategy? How do you know if it's actually helping? So we're focused a lot of work on making that a lot easier to do, so that our users of the Squiz CDP can really understand, where they're getting the most benefit out of using personalization, and so that they can make sure they're focusing on those key use cases that really help their users and not just sort of scattergunning out some personalization things. So that's how we kind of differentiate ourselves.
And you mentioned there about measuring personalization. That was a question that came up as well. Like, how, maybe if you can continue on from there, like, how do we measure the success of personalization? Is there a good rule of thumb? I know that there's sort of a lot of advice out there. What do you suggest?
Yeah, so it's a bit tricky sometimes, especially for those services-based organizations. So we look at a couple of different things. So Carrie showed at the very end of the demo is that you can set almost an outcome or success outcome for each of your personalization segments. And then you can actually track that. So that means if you have said, this segment, I really want them to fill out this form or meet this goal, you can actually track how that's doing integrated into the CDP. It's all right there for you. There are lots of other ways that you can measure success. One of the key things that is coming really soon is our A/B testing capability. So you can actually test personalized versus non-personalized versions and see, which one is actually having that end result. And we've got a lot more future plans around this as well. So this is something that we really, really want to focus on. We know that personalization can take a lot of time and effort, and we want to make sure that we're helping you be as efficient as possible and optimize that for those key use cases and not spend a lot of time on anything that isn't getting you those end results.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I'm just going to skip down to a question that seems to be quite popular as well. Where a user falls into the multiple segments, and Carrie, this one might be best answered by yourself. So you've got a user that falls into multiple segments. How do you prioritize the personalization that they receive? Is there a way to prioritize that?
Yeah, so you can put user into multiple segments, and then from the paging building experiences, that's where you can prioritize whether this piece of content is prioritized if the user match segment A instead of B. So as part of the new capabilities we are currently working on is the new page building experience, which replacing the previous personalization framework, which is a more enhanced experience for content editor to be able to control and leverage the segmentations from the CDP and seamlessly authorizing the content within the CMS and to building that logics. So as you see in the demo, I showed a bit of the segmentation builder. So that will work really hand in hand together with the page authoring process to create the content and make personalization easier.
Yeah, perfect. I just wanted to mention as well, we will be providing answers to these questions after today. So if your question does not get answered, we will be sending out a page of Q&A as well with the follow-up communications. I'm just going to scoot down to some of the popular questions that have come through. Carrie, this one might be best answered by yourself. It's, as developers, we are frequently asked, how will my page look with existing personalization? Are there ways to preview personalized data for stakeholder viewing?
Yeah, so I think Julie already mentioning we have new capability like A/B testing is coming soon. And then this will exactly solve that problem to be able to create experiment and then view what's the variation of the content according to different segment you assign to it, and then be able to preview the result and then go back to refine it until you actually find the personalized content is resonate with your audiences. So stay tuned.
Perfect. Julie, an integrations question. If Squiz Connect, if the integration fails, what's the best way to troubleshoot issues? They check logs, but there's nothing, they're empty. Is there a solution or a quick explanation?
So yeah, maybe I can.
Oh, that's a Carrie one, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, it's a Carrie one. She's the integration product
of course,
manager. So
that's my bad. Go for it, Carrie.
Yeah, so as part of this, because we know there's an end-to-end all crossing services involved from sourcing the data in and process it and distribute it out, and the Connect itself providing logs. However, we also building observabilities and logs to report it on a dashboard of your CDP to show how many events get processed. If there's any errors, it will be reflected from there.
Perfect. I'm just going straight from the bottom now, just because of the popularity and time restraints. we've got realistically, what are the skills and resources needed to set up and maintain CDP for a business that has no CRM in place at the moment?
I could take that one if you want, since you've been doing most of them, Carrie. So we've really designed the Squiz CDP to be used by non-technical users as possible. You'll probably need at least a level of front-end knowledge around setting up those resources and the integrations that you want to send in. It's pretty simple. If you've used our Connect interface, you know it's a very low-code interface, but it's probably worth at least understanding what fields you want to pull in. But once it's inside the CDP and you're trying to figure out, you know, what you want to do with that data, what's the important data, what are those important use cases, we've really been focusing on making it work for non-technical users as much as possible. So we do have quite a number of customers who don't have a CRM. So CDP doesn't replace a CRM, but it can make it a lot easier for you to have that central place where you are storing all your important data around your end users. So it can maybe be like a light CRM. So it can really, but really the main thing that we're really looking at is around helping you build out those digital experiences by using your data to make them even better and more, you know, those data-driven experiences that are much more engaging for your end audience. Perfect. So I guess you'd need a bit of a front-end skills, but most of it we've really focused on non-technical users. So as long as you really understand what you're trying to do, you should be able to do anything you need.
Yeah, absolutely. Reducing the complexity is what we're all about. So fantastic. I think we've got time to get through the last two questions. Carrie, this is a dashboard question. Are all analytics and reports available in real time, or is there a delay?
So it really depends. For the web analytics, where all those real-time events get tracked and the user gets segmented, and you are able to get those statistics in real time. However, because a large amount of the data integrations, you might not integrate with those data with your ecosystem in real time. They often come with a batch or a daily basis. So these type of data, maybe the report will be refreshed on a at least 24 hours daily basis. Okay. So it's by case.
Yep, gotcha. Thank you very much. And last question, it's about changes to the Privacy Act, and they may require us to show a customer all the data that like an organization has on them, and given the chance to change it, like how do you manage that? Is that something that we can support with? I don't know, Julie, did you want to tell?
Yeah. So yes, so we because we're a global organization, we have to make sure that we're following all of the different global regulations around privacy. So GDPR, the California Data Protection Act, and I know Australia is doing something very similar to GDPR around that Privacy Act. So that means that you need to make sure that you're getting consent from all your users. So I think we're all really used to the cookies notification that pops up and says, hey, we're going to be gathering some data when we go there. So the CDP does handle that for you. And then there's also the option is you need to be able to make available to anyone who asks what data you are collecting on them. And you also need to be able to have a way of, at their request, even if they've previously consented, you need to be able to delete all data you're holding on someone. And this is obviously data you're collecting around their website behavioral data. If they're a customer or a citizen that they've volunteered that information, you don't have to get rid of that. That's zero-party data. So that first-party data, we absolutely have tools inside the CDP that make sure we follow all global privacy and consent regulations.
Perfect. And I'm going to end it there. Thank you very much for attending. If you do have questions, we have an email address, ask@squiz.net, that you can submit any questions that were not answered during this session. And we will be sending out the recording after today as well. So thank you very much. We hope you enjoyed the session, and we'll be seeing you again soon.